Hello, welcome. It's 2021 already, and I want to wish you a very happy new year. Excited to have you tune in today. I have something quick I have to bring to you that I'm sure will definitely bless you. It's a new year, and it's important how we start it. There's a word from God that you need to hear. The Bible makes us to understand in the book of Luke. It says, which of you, intending to build a house or to build a tower, will not first sit down and count the cost, if he be able to start and also to finish. It actually says if he has sufficient to be able to finish the house. I'm excited that God has given us another opportunity to start a year, but it's important that you're equipped for what the year brings. Thank God for the excitement, thank God for the celebrations, thank God for the prophetic words. But every prophetic word has a prophetic instruction that goes with it. So there'll be a word for you today that I'm sure will bless you. Stay with me. I want to talk to you about 7 very important things that you should know and that you must do to set your year in the right direction. Very important. The first thing you need to do is go back. What does that mean? It means you need to go back to the previous year's plan. I want to believe you had a plan, but if you didn't have a plan, it's okay, it's fine. There are other points that would come that applies directly and specifically to you, but you need to go back and review and to see what are the plans from the past years that you had. Review the plans, take a look at it. It's important because of the other points that would follow, but that's the first thing you want to do. You want to go back. Don't be afraid to look at it, to go back to your plans. As a matter of fact, I will say that there are several people who would probably stop at this very first point. A lot of people are afraid to go back to their plans, either because of in time past they know what to expect because maybe they were unable to fulfill their past plans. In fact, some people even during the year are unable to go back to a plan they wrote. But I want to advise you, if you're able to cross this very first step, that's the most difficult point. It gets easier as you go on, and there's nothing wrong in going back. And let me say this quickly. It's true the year has started, but you are not in a race or in a competition with anybody. I want you to know that you're not in a race or in a competition with anybody. It's true some people may have done what I want to speak to you about now already last year, at the end of last year, but it's not late to do the right thing. Yes, it is 365 days, and 1 day is gone already, maybe even 2. I don't know at what point you'll be watching this video, maybe even more. But it's possible to start your year late and still end it very greatly. So I don't want you to feel like, okay, the year has already started, so it's over for me until next year. No, it's not late for you to go back and review the previous year's plan. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to go back and review it. The second thing you want to do is, as you review it, you want to question it. It's very important that you learn to question. Ask questions. Why did some of the things from the previous year fail? Why was I not able to achieve everything? Congrats and kudos to you if you're able to achieve everything that you set out for. But if you are not able to, it's good to ask questions. Questions change the seasons in our life. If you ask the right questions and you give honest answers, there's a very high chance that you can do better this year, because the mistakes you made from a previous year, you don't repeat them again, as you've learned from them. So that's what the questions are for. As you ask the right questions, you bring out the best in you. You bring out the best, and if you are honest to yourself and you're able to tell yourself the truth, you're able to know why did it fail? What were my strengths? What were my weaknesses? What were the failures and the successes of the previous plans and of the previous year? Question everything. Never be afraid to question. Jesus Christ loved questions so much. Jesus would answer questions with questions. Jesus entertained questions from his disciples. Jesus entertained questions from the Pharisees. So I just want to encourage you, don't be afraid to ask questions. The reason you question it is because when you get answers, then you know what to correct, you know what to adjust, you know what to keep and what to retain. But anyway, I'll go to point number 3. Point number 3, very important also, is for you to now reflect. Now this is very important, very, very important. A lot of people just go ahead and into a new year or into a new thing or into a new event or into a new business, haven't ever reflected on the things of their past. The past would always show up again in the future, but especially if an individual never consciously built a system on how to deal with the things. Remember, the Bible says there is nothing new under the sun. So many of the things that happened last year will happen again this year. Again, there will be day and there will be night. There will be winter, there will be summer. There will be cold, there will be heat. There will be men, there will be women, there will be guys, there will be girls, there will be temptations. You know, there will be angels. God will be there. Everything is going to be there. But you got to reflect on every event that happened from your past year. Several people had different kinds of events. Some people had a good event, some people had bad events, some people had maybe the loss of a loved one, maybe there was a health situation. You got to reflect, think soberly on how did you respond. Ask yourself, how did I respond when these things came last year? How could I have improved on it? How can I respond better in the year coming? So I just want to encourage you to go ahead and take time to reflect on some of these things. And as you do that, you're going to position yourself for a better year, coming. Now over to point number 4. You want to adjust. You want to make adjustments. You want to adjust anything from the previous year's plan that, that you think needs changing. But let me say this, I only said adjust. You want to adjust things to make them better. You want to adjust things to make them better. So what it means is if you have a system that is working already, you want to look for where are the weaknesses in that system and change only the weakness. You don't want to change your entire template. You don't change your entire template of your plans and the things you're doing. They say you don't change a winning team. So if you have something that is already working, that helped you last year or in the years past, that you want to bring in again into the new year, then you want to do that. And I can tell you one thing for sure, it helps strengthens the house. So don't forget this point, adjusting. Before you do the next point, make sure the next point is very crucial and it's more, I'll say, drastic, but make sure that first and foremost you have considered this one, which is making adjustments. And the next point is very important. It is changing, or I would say creating things altogether. Before you create things, make sure before you create or start something completely new, for some of you who you've never had plans, all your years, you've never worked with a plan in a whole year, this is for you. For the first time, you want to stay, you want to create, you want to make plans. Let me say this at this point. Of course, every point I'm giving, they are just pointers. But if you would like me to maybe elaborate on any point, 1 or 2 points of any of these 7 points I'm giving you, I'd like you to go ahead and, leave a comment at the comment section, what you would like me to elaborate on. And, if I get enough comments around those areas, I could give a bit more, or I could make a separate video for this. I could make out time and do that, but this is for you. So point number 5, I began to speak about this. You want to change entirely the plan. So if the plans from last year, if you looked at it honestly, let's say you've become more mature or you have changed events or status in your life, there are new things altogether, and you think you need to do things completely differently, then you want to create altogether. You want to change completely everything. So on how to draw out a plan, you want to create a new plan. If you want me to make a video on that one, please go ahead and comment about that at the comment section, and I promise you I'll be able to make a video for you. Now the next point number 6, is you want to learn to sow. When you make a plan, you want to present it to God. Let me say this, very important. You want to present it to God. You don't just want to make point off keys. God expects us to make plans. God expects us to make plans. God expects us to make plans. And if you look at the history of creation, Genesis, the first chapter, God had a plan and he followed his plan very seriously, very meticulously. God expects you to make a plan for your year. And so after you've made the plans and have presented it before God, of course you don't appear before God empty. Find something to sow. Commit your ways unto God. The Bible says, acknowledge him in all your ways. Find something to sow. You can sow something financial. You can sow something that is also not financial. For example, praying. You can pray. You can fast. Find something you can do that can commit your heart completely to the realization of this your goals, because you want a better year, right? So you got to find something you can do for sure that would commit it, because you want to put something on the ground. So I encourage you, find something to do. You want to sow prayers. If it's praying, make sure you invest prayers intended specifically for your plan. I know there are several fastings, there are several prayers going on around this time of the year, at the beginning part of the year mostly. I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about something dedicated especially for your plan and your goals that you're working towards. It could be praying, it could be fasting, and of course if you go ahead, you can go ahead and also give something financial to it as a seed on the ground. It shows your commitment and your seriousness. There are a lot of proofs of that in scriptures. And then lastly, you want to take steps, you want to act. In the years past, if you didn't act, you want to act. It's one thing to sow, it's another thing to actually get out and do something. And I'll tell you one thing for sure, no matter how little, no matter the steps you take, find something you can, there's always something you can do. There's a place to start from. And don't despise the days of small beginnings. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to take a first few steps. And I'm sure if you do this particular thing, just act. Find something. Write it down. Write the visions. And very important, write it down. Anything that would be an action. One step. Talk to somebody about it. Get someone you can talk to. Get someone that can watch over you for the whole year. Do something. Any step at all. Any action in the right direction that will give you a boost, which definitely give you a higher chance of the whole plans falling in place. These are some of the things God wanted me to tell you. And like I said, it doesn't matter when you're hearing this. If you're hearing it at the beginning of the year, still go ahead and put them into play. And even if you do not get to start your year plan by, say, January 1st or 2nd, if you started at January 7th or January 8th or 9th, what's more important is starting. So don't feel any way that, oh, you are starting late or anything. No, take a step, and I promise you will not regret it. This is just a quick one, and I hope you're blessed by it. And like I said, if you want me to elaborate on any of these points I said, go ahead, let me know, and I'll make time for you. If there are other things you would want me to talk about, go ahead and also comment it, and I'll be watching myself in particular, and I'll speak to you. Thank you so much once again for listening, and thank you for staying all the way to the very end here. Remember to share it with somebody. It can change the entire plan of the entire situation of somebody this whole year. Remember to share with someone. Remember to comment. Remember to like. And I promise you, together, I'm going to be here the whole year by the grace of God, coming in with content that will definitely bless you. The Lord bless you and keep you. I love you, and until next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.